Welcome to the learning support video that diagrams the process of gas exchange. This video is labeled as Respiration so that we can get a fundamental understanding of what is involved in this process. In the gas exchange video, we'll diagram some particulars to the process we'll review here. This process begins with the pulmonary artery carrying deoxygenated blood into the lungs from the heart, where it reaches the pulmonary capillaries. These pulmonary capillaries become the respiratory membrane that we see here, which is of course one of the sites of gas exchange. This process occurs because of a difference in partial pressure. In other words, there is going to be movement of gases because of the difference in concentration between gases. Oxygen is in higher concentration in the alveoli than it is in the red blood cell. Therefore, oxygen will move towards the red blood cell because of its low or non-existent concentration. Similarly, there is a slight difference in the concentration of carbon dioxide in the red blood cell when compared to the alveoli. The red blood cell initially has a higher concentration of carbon dioxide, which makes sense considering the fact that the blood was deoxygenated. Because the concentration is higher here, it too will move to where the pressure is in lower concentration in the alveoli. This represents the process of external respiration. Now that we have an understanding about what happens during external respiration, we can now turn our attention towards gaining an understanding of what happens during internal respiration. Having gone through external respiration, remember now that our red blood cell is very well saturated with oxygen, and this oxygen is needed by the tissues to continue functioning properly. Now, the oxygen level content in our body's tissue is fairly low, considering that the body's tissues have been utilizing oxygen to help produce energy. Because of the difference in concentration between oxygen in the red blood cell and oxygen in the body's tissue, it will move down its concentration gradient into the tissues. In the same manner, there is a difference in the concentration gradient of carbon dioxide. The process of cellular respiration, which utilizes oxygen to produce energy, releases carbon dioxide as a byproduct. Because our body's tissues have utilized this oxygen, there is initially a greater concentration of carbon dioxide in the tissues. This is in contrast to the relatively low concentration of carbon dioxide in the red blood cell. Again, as a result of the concentration gradient, carbon dioxide will move from an area of higher concentration to an area of lower concentration. Now, as the red blood cell is more heavily concentrated with carbon dioxide, we say that it is deoxygenated.